Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.
We're really happy to have on Outdoors with Larry Ray, Stephen Browning out of my state, the state of Arkansas in Hot Springs. Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning, gentlemen.
How we doing over in Hot Springs?
Well, we're doing fine. The weather's kind of shaping up for a good fishing day, and I plan on spending a little time on the water today.
Well, if you'll just, it'll take me about, let's see, to Hot Springs, I can be there in 2.5 hours.
You better come on.
Depends on what's going on around Brinkley. I can tell you that. It takes you a while to get through Brinkley just about now.
It definitely does.
Yeah.
You know, Stephen, first of all, congratulations on the year you had in 2014.
Yes.
And because of the year you had, you've qualified for the upcoming Bassmasters Classic being held on Hartwell. And I guess you've had a chance to get out there during November, December just to scout it out, haven't you?
I did. I spent about 3 or 4 days out there, just more or less just kind of looking at the lake and kind of what am I trying to say? Familiarize myself with the lake again. You know, it's been several years. I fished the '08 Classic out there,
right.
And
I like
the way the lake the way the lake lines up. It's should be a really, really good event this year.
Now, you know, with the Classic in the middle of February, water's still going to be cool and everything. But I think you've got some lure company that's behind you that might be able to give you an edge because that lure kind of looks like bait fish in the water.
Exactly.
You know what I'm talking about, live target.
Target. Yeah.
Live target. We have probably without a doubt the most realistic looking lures on the market.
Mm-hmm.
And the key thing, I think out there is that clear water. That water's pretty clear out there, and what I'm saying clear in that 6 to 8 foot visibility range.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times you have to have some type of edge to get that, to trigger that fish.
Do they have
it's going to be a big deal.
Do they have a blueback herring colored ball of bait or whatever they want?
Yes, sir, bait ball. We sure do.
Bait ball,
right. Absolutely do.
Wow. So that's going to set up. And, of course, you're using the Lose Reel. You're probably going to spool it with 10, 12-pound test line for a lot of your crankbaits, jerk baits, and that kind of stuff, right?
Absolutely. I just received a new shipment of the new Team Lose light reels. And,
a shipment.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Y'all stay away now.
Wait. You know what? I have to tell you something, Stephen. I've got a couple of the new Lose lights, and I've got them in both the 7.5 to 1 and the 6.5 to 1 or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. That's an amazing reel.
It really is. And it's if for the people listening out there and they look at that gear ratio, don't be confused. Even though that it's a higher gear ratio on the box, look at that inches per turn, and that's what I'm saying about here is that inches every time you turn that reel handle over, it's going to bring in X amount of line.
Right.
And it's the same amount of line being brought in. Gear ratios are just a little different, so don't get confused with that if you're trying to match your reel speed with the particular setup that you're using.
So I guess your deck's going to be full of those Team Lose lights for the Classic.
Absolutely is. You know that, and the BB1 Pro. I'm kind of a cranker and shallow water cranker, and that BB1 Pro is without a doubt one of the finest shallow cranking reels that I have in my arsenal, and I plan on using that one as well.
I get kind of cranky myself around here sometimes. That's for sure. And when it comes to that, and I got to ask you because, and I don't want to age you, Stephen, but I know that you've been in at least 200 professional tournaments in your lifetime. Look back on this and say you were just talking about some of these loose products and things like that. Technology is amazing, isn't it? Since if you look back at say 1996, look since then.
Absolutely, and the youngsters coming up, guys that have the technology and the equipment that we have now, it's just so much more superior than what we grew up in our generation. I'm almost 50 years old and been tournament fishing since I was 13, and it's changed a whole lot. And even just like you were saying, here in the last 10 years, it's just amazing what the rod technology, the reel technology, the electronics technology. It's out there for the taking for sure.
It's pretty amazing. You talk about the technology in fishing. It's kind of like computer technologies. What was new 6 months ago is now antiquated. And
that's right.
And I look at electronics and reels and rods, and I mean, I can remember when I was using fishing rods, and I thought a 6-ounce fishing rod was light.
Yep.
Exactly.
Not anymore. And
no.
And again,
and a reel weighing 10 ounces, hey, that's nothing.
Right.
Nothing
right.
now. And
my whole rod and reel setup weighs about as much as my old reels used to weigh themselves.
About 9 ounces.
You're looking at right around 10 ounces in the whole package, and that's incredible.
And that's including your line. I mean, that Lose Light that's out now, Team Lose Light, weighs 5.7 ounces, the reel itself.
That's amazing. And I know we're talking to Stephen Browning out of Hot Springs, Arkansas. And I know, Stephen, you just mentioned, when's your birthday?
It's February the 22nd on the Classic. I wish.
Will you turn 50? Will you turn 50? 28th. You turn 50 on the 28th.
On the 28th of April. I tell you what, guys, I've won an event the last 2 years, 2013 and 2014, right there around my birthday. So I'm thinking that I'm trying to make February the 22nd my birthday.
To turn 50, and we all know 50 in fishing. If it's like dog years, because a year in the life of a professional bass fisherman is like 2, I think.
You are exactly right.
For the normal person and everything. And I got to ask you one other thing here. I know a lot of things have happened in your career, and I look back on this, and I can remember this when you did that documentary for Nat Geo going down the Mississippi River. Is that one of the highlights? I mean, that thing that you did.
It absolutely is, and being in the fishing industry and knowing the production crew in that particular journey was a bonus for me because had I not been a professional fisherman or and had the knowledge of the Mississippi River that I had, I probably wouldn't have been asked to do that trip with those two gentlemen and that good night, guys. That was, I'm going to say, almost, if I'm not mistaken, like almost 3,000 miles.
3,000 miles of the entire thing of the Mississippi River.
Sir.
So
that's
from where it bubbled out of the ground until where it dumped in the Gulf of Mexico. And it was definitely a journey.
We appreciate you being with us and talking about the Classic here. And
also,
I want to wish you nothing but success.
Stephen, I'm going to be there covering it for Outdoors with Larry Ray and LROutdoors.com. I look forward to talking with you at Media Day, and I'm going to wish you all the luck in the world there to Lake Hartwell.
All right.
Well, I appreciate it, gentlemen.